Welcome in to the PHNX Suns VIP Lounge, brought to you by the DraftKings Sportsbook app, America's top-rated sportsbook app. Don't forget to subscribe wherever you listen to your podcast and leave us a 5-star review. I'm Lindsey, joined by Espo. And Espo, on national TV, the Phoenix Suns absolutely wrecked the Los Angeles Lakers, winning 140-111, a season high in scoring for the Phoenix Suns. What a great Sunday evening.
Oh, are you talking to me, Lindsay? I was doing my taxes. I figured that was more more efficient than whatever the hell the Lakers were doing out there tonight. I figured I didn't need to watch any of this game because it was an ass whooping. Am I here? No, you're here. I'm just screwing around. No, I mean, that was exactly everything we had hoped for when we were talking about it pregame, right? Devin Booker has a big game. Deandre Ayton comes up big, gets the rebounds. The bench outplays the Lakers bench, which anybody with a pulse can at this point. It was beautiful, and there's one reason why. I think you all know what it is. The Phoenix Suns are the best team in the NBA. Suck it, Lakers. Suck it, AD. Suck it, LeBron. All right, we can end the show now.
Yeah. Bye. Oh my goodness.
I cannot believe that they come in like this, the Lakers, and everybody, you hear Lakers fans shooting their mouth off, obviously, Lakers players shooting their mouth off before the game. And it was, an ass whooping. I mean, they had 48 points in the first quarter, 48. All right. They played so well. I had to look up what the highest scoring first half in Suns history was. That's how well they were playing. I thought they might have a shot at it. They didn't. It was 107 points, which is insane in and of itself. That what happened in November of 1991 against the Nuggets with 0 3-pointers made too. But I felt they were playing that good tonight, that records could fall, but they played unbelievable.
Hold on, Espo. I'm sorry. I had another. You know how ESPN box score, they always love to randomly start a video on like a good win on my computer. I don't understand what it is. It's anytime big Suns win, they start playing random videos on their website there. But you mentioned the first quarter. They tied their season high for a quarter with those 48 points. They also had 17 fast break points, 14 assists, and 0 turnovers in that quarter. And they maintained that type of play throughout this entire game. Like, this was a really solid game because even when they took all their starters out and brought in guys off the bottom of the bench, they still were able to maintain a really big lead and keep this game it was just the same type of play, same type of energy. And I loved that part of tonight's game, that even though they were up so much over the Lakers for so long, they were like, no, we're not even going to take our foot off the gas. This is going to be how it's going to be this whole game. Y'all are really going to feel it at the end of this one.
49 points from the Suns bench tonight. Mm-hmm. 49. And I get it. They got a lot of run in the fourth quarter, so they should have had a decent amount of points. But this is a depleted bench, a bench that we've been concerned couldn't score without Cam Johnson. And they dropped 49 of their own points on the Lakers tonight. That says a lot. I mean, you had Torrey Craig finally get back in a rhythm, had 11 points, 8 rebounds. JaVale McGee, perfect from the field, 10 points. Aaron Holiday drops 12 points in 24 minutes with 5 assists and 4 rebounds. I mean,
not to mention those 4 steals as well from Aaron Holiday. Those were a thing of beauty as well.
Oh, yes. He was all over the court tonight. Again, paying huge dividends for that trade. This guy will come up big at some point in the playoffs, and everybody will go, oh, James Jones, that's a guy that knows what he's doing.
What a smart guy that James Jones is.
even Landry Shamet on his birthday goes 2 of 3 for 6 points. I mean, everybody played well tonight, and that bench deserves a lot of praise. That was a fun performance from the Suns backups. I just wish Ife Lundgren would have been here tonight, right? Or Lundberg, excuse me, would have been here tonight because he would have got a lot of run, and we got a chance to see what that guy was all about against the Lakers.
That would have been fun, if only, but a couple weeks until that happens. Before we go to the bar, I do have a question about him. What's the official name? Because I've heard like the Suns on their press release, his name is Ife, but then I see a lot on Twitter, Gabriel. So
Gabriel's is an actual first name, but I think he goes by FA. So
okay,
I go with what the press release says until the stat wizard Cole over at the Suns calls me up and goes, "We got it wrong." With Bismack,
gotcha.
it was in Bismarck. He was the guy we turned to get that cleared up. So
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, just wanted to double check and make sure because I don't want to name or call somebody by the wrong name or mispronounce any names or anything of that sort. All right, Espo, take us to the bar. What are we drinking tonight?
let's go to the bar. We're drinking the tears of the Lakers. That's right. Lots of tears tonight. If you're a Lakers fan, if you're a Lakers player, enjoy them. They are a little bitter. They taste a little bitter, but that's all right because after a 29-point victory, they taste sweet even if it is bitter. So enjoy it. Drink up those Lakers tears tonight.
I saw on Twitter that I believe it might have been Kellen Olson who said that surprisingly enough, there were actually quite a few Lakers fans in the arena tonight. And while that doesn't surprise me because we all know Lakers fans travel pretty well, and there are also a lot of Laker fans who reside here in the Valley. I was a little bit surprised because I thought that now that the Suns have had 2 seasons under their belt, 2 and a quarter, whatever, 2 and a bubble, that we would have converted some of those Lakers fans back into Suns fans. Are you surprised at the amount of Lakers fans still in the Valley?
No, because tonight was one of those nights where Suns fans went, "It's a Sunday. I know it's going to be a blowout win. I can stay home." That's the only reason Lakers fans got any tickets because Suns fans knew, this is a blowout. This is in hand. No need to actually watch this game in person. So
Or maybe when they bought tickets at the beginning of the season when they first went on sale, not realizing how bad the Lakers were. They were like, "Well, we already committed. We may as well get our money's worth, I guess." I don't know.
numerous times, and I'm not making this up, while I was working for the Suns, you'd see people come into the arena wearing a Lakers jersey, and if the Suns started winning, they'd all of a sudden have a Suns shirt under it and wouldn't be wearing that Lakers
No,
jersey
are you
anymore. And
serious?
it's everybody's second favorite team kind of thing. You know how that crap goes. I'm sure there was a lot of that tonight too, where it was oh yeah, no, I'm a Suns fan. Yeah, sure.
That's
Because
funny.
no Lakers fan was enjoying this evening. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's for sure. I don't even think the guys who were out there on the floor for the Lakers were enjoying this evening. I think they actually were very upset about all of this. And we got to give some flowers to AD, Anthony Davis. I mean, if it wasn't for that guy, who knows what this game would have looked like? Am I right?
Yeah, thank you, Anthony Davis, for giving the extra motivation that people need. Yeah, you made a horrible mistake, a terrible mistake
Yeah.
tonight. There, great shot of him looking sad on the bench that we had to turn into a meme. Guy opens his mouth pregame and gives bulletin board material just minutes before this game is about to go on. Devin Booker heard it. DeAndre Ayton heard it. And the Suns
Yeah.
came out and jack stomped them in the first quarter. There was no doubt at any point in this game. That's how well the Suns came out and played. And I guarantee they knew what was said pregame by Anthony Davis, and that gave that slight bit of motivation that you needed to go out there and do a little bit extra. Because sometimes they can come out a little flat. They did not do that tonight. They came out with a mission and
Mhm.
mission accomplished.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest, the Suns still would have beaten this Lakers team regardless, but there was just a little extra fuel to the fire. Because like you said, I'm positive it came out around like maybe 5:15 when that kind
Yeah.
of came out. I guarantee you every single player in that locker room had already seen the quote and watched the videos, and they were probably talking amongst themselves like, "Are you kidding me?" Maybe
Yeah.
a little more colorful language than that. So that definitely pissed them off a little bit, and they probably really wanted to come out and send a message to not just AD, but the Lakers in general, and everybody in the media who is still saying that the Lakers want the Suns in the playoffs. The Lakers think that the Suns would be the easiest route to moving forward. They probably came out saying, like, let me just quiet you down for a second here.
Look, AD could talk all he wants, but the dude can't stay healthy enough to make any difference. And even if he hadn't been injured tonight, what would they have lost by 15? Congratulations. Congratulations, AD. You poked the bear, and apparently, according to Tim in the chat, he says campaign said on the post-game show on television that Book told them in pregame what AD said. And Devin Booker came out firing. When he hit that 4-point play, that you knew that was right in Anthony Davis's face. That was
man.
I'm showing you whose house this is, and it's Phoenix's. The sad thing is, though, doesn't matter, because tomorrow it'll be what's wrong with the Lakers on all the national morning shows. You know what's wrong with the Lakers? They played the Phoenix Suns. That's what's wrong with the Lakers, all right? Well done is better than well said, and the Suns did it well tonight.
I love that it was Devin that showed the team what AD said, because listen, I am all for a little bit of drama when it is not coming directly from your team, right? But a little bit of drama from other teams talking trash about your team, I'll handle that. But we all know that Devin is so petty. And I am here for all of his pettiness. And you know that he was hyping up his teammates before this one.
Is it petty, or is it the DNA of an ultimate competitor? Because this is exactly what Kobe would have done. It's exactly what Michael would have done. These are the kind of guys that find anything to give you that little extra inch of motivation, whatever it takes to go the next level. I mean, he went supersonic because he knew, not Seattle, he went full-fledged all out tonight because he knew the kind of disrespect. And I love a guy that's motivated by that, because who among us has not heard people chirping about, oh, this, he's not good enough, she's not good enough, he doesn't do this, they don't do that, whatever it is about what they do. And we all use that as motivation. We all want to prove somebody wrong, and I love that. I love that Booker can do that and tap into that, because the greats did it in this game. And Devin Booker is well on his way to being one of those greats. And nights like tonight show that. So thank you, Anthony Davis, for giving us one of the great Devin Booker performances and a great Deandre Ayton performance, just because you couldn't say, you know what, no comment, or the past is the past, or whatever. You want to sit there and act like somehow you being injured was the difference in things. Forgetting game one, you weren't injured, but Chris Paul was, and the Phoenix Suns still took it to you in their house. So keep your mouth shut. Keep the Suns' name out of your mouth, because they got your number right now, AD.
Espo's so spicy tonight. Look, I'm here for it.
If I had more room in the walk-in closet studio, I'd be doing the Jay Crowder salsa right now. All right, that's how fired up I am about AD and what the Suns did to the Lakers tonight. This is why the Suns are the best team in the NBA, because they can stick it to a team like this and make a point that sends a clear message to LeBron and this Lakers team.
Yeah, absolutely. Hello in the chat said Kobe and MJ were hella petty. And I agree. I think it's all kind of, you can kind of put it all in the same box, right? Like ultra competitive pettiness. And I took that personally, kind of that type of motivation. Like there has to be a little bit of pettiness. And I'm not saying it's petty in the sense of like annoying type of petty. It's like a fun, competitive type of petty, where just like MJ will make something out of nothing to bring the energy a little bit more, to step up his game a little bit more. But I'm either way, whatever you want to call it, I'm here for it all.
I mean, I've told the Kobe story on this show that I have, where Vince Marotta asked in arena questions to a Suns assistant coach about, you've shut down Kobe Bryant in the first half, and he used that as motivation. That's petty to me, right? This is Anthony Davis straight out saying we're better than that team, and if I weren't hurt, I would have been the difference in that. That's insulting. All right, that's flat out insulting. I don't feel that's as much petty or finding something small. I feel like that's Devin Booker going, these fools still don't respect us. Let's make sure they respect that name and respect this city, respect this building, and respect these fans, because we'll kick their ass with or without him, and they did it. By the way, I love Dale's comment in the chat. He says, "Stop screaming, Espo. You're scaring my pet monkey." Which I have all sorts of questions as to why your pet monkey's watching the show this evening.
Also,
and then Hello
please
says,
send pictures.
Espo also petty as hell. And yes,
Facts.
I am. So your negative comments in the chat do nothing but motivate me. Keep that in mind.
I think I like Elon Musk's comment the best. It's just a little compettiness. I like it. Elon. I like it. That was a good one. I'll give you flowers to you, Elon Musk, in the chat for that one. All right, Espo, shall we name our king of the game?
Yes. Anthony Davis, congratulations. Oh, no, sorry.
Tonight's draft king of the game is Deandre Ayton. He finished with 23 points, 16 rebounds. He was 11 of 14 from the field. Deandre Ayton, here are your flowers. He also had a double-double in the first half. By halftime, he had 18 points and 11 rebounds. So good job to the big fella tonight, getting all of those rebounds and doing work down low.
He had more rebounds tonight by through a quarter and a half than he did the entire game against the Raptors. And I told you pregame, when he has a night like that where he's weak on the boards, you can pencil him in for 15 to 20 rebounds. He hit that 16 mark. And you know what I like that about him is if he has a down night, he's always going to bounce back. He's going to find a way to use that as motivation and come back. By the way, the mustache behind the Mac, Shane Diefenbach, with the spectacular crown placement tonight. I will give it to him, especially coming off what was, I think, like 6 weeks in Vegas at the Pac-12 tournament. So his soul has left his body, but he found a way to still make a superb crown placement.
Good job, Shane. Welcome back, by the way. We missed you. We love Leah. She's always welcome on this show, but it was nice to have some more faces back in the PHNX offices. It was a little bit quiet this week without all of the ASU guys and Mac, and I was like, it feels a little dead in here.
It wasn't like a frat house? Yeah, you're right.
Exactly. You're right. Yeah, that one. Monica in the chat said, I wasn't going to join because I don't need PHNX therapy. Almost everything was at 100% tonight, but I missed you guys. Need to talk trash on my hometown Lakers. Monica, thank you for joining us. We love having you every time, but especially when it's not therapy. It's way more fun in the VIP lounge.
Wait, Monica from LA and is a Suns fan. I love that. Take that, Anthony Davis. We're even taking people from your town to be Suns fans.
Monica knows what's up. All right, so I have to address something in the chat real quick. Where did it go? I think it was Long John Silver said, yeah. He said, wasn't Lindsey supposed to do something if we scored 140 points? LOL. What did I make a bet?
I don't remember you making a 140-point bet, but we can say that you did. She did, and she said she'd shave her eyebrows. So
you wish.
We're gonna bring the lawnmower 4.0 and take those things off the next time we're in studio. All right?
Yeah, right. I've heard that if you shave your eyebrows, they might not always grow back.
I think that's crap. All right,
that's what I've heard. I mean, wouldn't that be the most terrifying thing ever, to shave one eyebrow and then it never grew back?
Story time. I nicked one of my eyebrows once and cut half of it off. It grew back.
I don't know.
I mean,
I don't know. It's not worth the risk to me, Espo.
I'm just telling you. So
Chris said, give Monica flowers. Here are all of your flowers, Monica. We love having you here with us. Thank you always for joining us in the chat. We've got to give a shout out to
I was just going to say, DM Lindsey your address. She'll send you those flowers, Monica. So
Espo will. No, just DM Espo. He's the one with the... No, DM Saul. He's the one with the company credit card. All right. Super chat from AZ Cards, Phoenix Suns on God. Deandre once again set the tone early, especially down low. That opened great looks for everyone else in the first half en route to a blowout. Yes, and that is why Deandre Ayton is our draft king of the game tonight. I mean, like I said, the very like opening few possessions might have been a little iffy, I guess you could say. But after that, this team just, it was just a really good basketball game, a really, really solid performance by the Phoenix Suns.
Yeah, a ball movement was excellent on the offensive side. Defensively, they were on point. Mikal Bridges did what many haven't been able to do recently and help slow down LeBron James. I mean, LeBron still does LeBron things, but he, early on wasn't on pace to have a huge game. Still finished with 30, but Mikal played fantastic defense there. And Deandre Ayton on the boards was spectacular. He did what he needed to against a much, much smaller Lakers starting lineup. And anytime Devin Booker saw Reeves on him, he licked his chops and took it to the basket. So.
All right, we're going to take a quick break so I can tell you guys about the latest offer from the DraftKings Sportsbook app. So, the teams have been selected for the biggest tournament of the year. There's only a few days left to join in on all the action before the first team tips off this Thursday. So, DraftKings Sportsbook is giving new customers a shot to bet just $5 on any team to win and get $200 in free bets if they do. It's literally that simple. If they win, you win with the DraftKings Sportsbook app. The DraftKings Sportsbook app is safe, it's secure, it's reliable. You can deposit and withdraw your cash whenever you want. And of course, DraftKings Sportsbook app customers can also bet on college hoops with same game parlays. So just combine multiple bets from the same game for a bigger payout, and the more legs you add, the more money you can win. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app right now. Use promo code PHNX, bet just $5 on any college hoops team to win and get $200 in free bets if they do. Just a reminder that is 21 and older only, Arizona only. Gambling problem, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. New customers only. Minimum $5 minimum deposit. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details.
I probably shouldn't have been a jerk, and I probably should have read that for you since you're having trouble speaking this evening. So
I know,
my
it's my bad.
apologies on that. But by the way, the Lakers, have you seen this new HBO show, Winning Time?
I saw like half of the first episode the other night, and I actually thought it was pretty good.
It's good, and it's the only place on television you can see the Lakers win right now.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure that the guys playing the Lakers on Winning Time would have put up a better fight against the Suns than the Lakers actually did tonight.
Say that one more time.
The guys acting as the Lakers on Winning Time would have played a better basketball game than the actual Lakers tonight.
I mean, at the very least, it would have been something close to it. It would have been more entertaining, potentially. That's for sure. For the Lakers fans, I guess. Anyway.
Look, yeah, Lakers fans, go watch that series. Go watch your old tapes and highlights of the Showtime era. The Suns got this. Don't worry about it. The Suns got it this year.
I'll be honest, though, like, this isn't any love to the Lakers by any means, but that show is really good. And I feel like we should all be watching it. I know somebody brought it up a couple shows ago with Saul and I. I think you were sick. They wanted us to do kind of like a G-rated segment on each one of the episodes. I think we should do it.
We will. It's based on a book by one of my favorite sports writers, Jeff Pearlman, and then Adam McKay, who did Anchorman and The Big Short, is the producer and directed episodes. So if you want a good basketball show, that's definitely one of them. So
yeah, and I feel like the acting was actually pretty good too in what I got to watch so far. Honestly, I'm so tired, so I wasn't able to stay up late enough to actually get through the whole episode. Just in case you guys missed it in the pregame show, I'm dying over here from these allergies, and I feel like they're turning into something else. So apologies for the sniffles and the funky voice tonight, but thanks for powering through with me.
So should we take our shot tonight?
Yeah, let's take our shot, Espo, because you're bringing it tonight. So it is time to take your shot, presented by the Arizona Department of Health Services. COVID-19 vaccines are free for everyone 5 and older. Those 12 and older are also now eligible for a booster. Visit azhealth.gov for a location near you.
Well, it's time to take that shot. And Anthony Davis pregame took his shot, and it did nothing but piss off the Phoenix Suns. According to Dave McMenamin, ESPN Lakers reporter Anthony Davis was asked if his groin injury is the main reason the Lakers didn't beat the Suns in the playoffs last year, and said, "It was, we know it, they know it, they got away with one." Well, they got away with one tonight, too, and a 29-point victory. And it makes me laugh because there's this headline that came out earlier this week of something that Shaq said about Lakers sources. O'Neal said, powerful sources within the Lakers say, quote, they're right where we want to be and would rather face the Suns than the Lakers. Guess
The
what?
Warriors.
Sometimes you should be careful what you wish for, because if it happens, tonight was a little preview, a little entree about what's coming your way, Los Angeles. Last year wasn't a fluke. The Phoenix Suns had no respect because they hadn't been there before. Well, guess what? They're the defending Western Conference champions. They're the best team in the NBA and have a insurmountable lead for the number 1 spot in the entire league, home court throughout the playoffs. If that's where you want to be, you got something wrong with you. The Lakers have no chance against the Phoenix Suns. Anthony Davis, you were wrong about last year, and you're wrong about this year. That's my shot. The Lakers, be careful what you wish for.
One more time. COVID-19 vaccines are free for everyone 5 and older. Those 12 and older are also now eligible for a booster. Visit azhealth.gov for a location near you. I was going to add something to that, Espo. That's what it was. And just keep in mind, too, the Suns were without Chris Paul tonight. Could you imagine if the Suns had Chris Paul tonight? It probably would have been at least 150 points scored. We might have come really close to that Suns all-time scoring record.
Oh, the 173 in a game? Yes. I think
feel like it. If they had Chris Paul and they kept all of the starters in this game to the very end, we absolutely could have topped that. I
think they could have done it tonight if they had just kept the starters in. I mean,
totally.
If they really needed to, I mean, they definitely could have. Look, circle your calendars, right? Because the Suns and the Lakers, once again, Tuesday, April 5th, right back here in Phoenix. Chris Paul should be back by then. I'm almost willing to guarantee he'll be back by then. That may be the game where you get a chance to break the all-time scoring record. You may be able to score 173 by that point, because who the hell knows? The Lakers could fall so far off, LeBron may not even play at that point. They may have shut everybody down. That is a game that you should get your popcorn ready, because the Suns are going to make yet another point, and they should have their entire roster by that point. And if somehow, some way, somehow, Anthony Davis is back by then, you know that the Suns are going to be extra ready to stick it to him.
Absolutely. Kendrick Perkins tweeted out at the end of this game, the Lakers are cooked at this point. There's no reason to bring back AD and might as well let Bron fight to win the scoring title and let it be that. Carry on. I mean, at least some people are starting to catch on and realize what really is happening right now.
Well, I mean, it's there's a reason why they were called the LLARP Lakers, back in the beginning of the year. I mean, when you look at this right now in the Western Conference, the Lakers are sitting at the 9 spot and only a game and a half lead over New Orleans for that 10th spot. I mean, this is bad. I mean, they're not going to fall all the way to 11. Portland is 2.5 games behind them. I doubt they fall completely out of the playoff picture, but if they're at 10, they're in trouble. They may not make it out of the play-in game. They may not get to the playoffs at that point.
JT also reminded me, and apologies immensely for this one, and Cam Johnson as well.
Well, and Frank Kaminsky.
Yeah,
too.
Frank Kaminsky will be back.
Which that might be the 30-point game where I have to get the tattoo. Frank may drop 30 April 5th.
That would be so amazing. Okay, we got to
Sure,
circle
for you.
back to a few things. As far as that Long John Silver 140-point bet that I made, Josh Hunt. No, of course it's Josh Hunt. Josh Hunt always comes through with everything that we ever need. Said that my bet was that I had to wear the Spinelli outfit, and he has the video of it too.
Wait, that is true. You did say that.
But was it for
that's funny.
any game, or was it just for that specific
I
game?
feel like you said if they score 140 at any point.
Josh,
We
you
have
have
the
the
tape. It's
video.
well,
You
it's
have
not
the
tape.
video. So
We
let
have
us
the digital
know.
video. We can go back and
Yeah.
look.
So I
Don't worry.
guess
And we will, don't you worry. We will.
oh, I'm very aware. We'll have to see. Maybe I'll have to make that one come through. I wouldn't mind that. I don't, at least I make bets that I don't mind having to follow through on.
Hey, I'll do it too. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, so funny. All right. I do want to talk about just the ball movement tonight. The Phoenix Suns had 36 assists. Booker had 10. Payne had 11. Aaron Holiday had 5. The ball was moving really well tonight. And I think that's something that's been really key for them with Chris Paul being out, is keeping that same type of ball movement that they're so used to on this team, really sticking to that 0.5 offense. How much are you enjoying the fact that they've been able to keep that going throughout this time without Chris Paul?
Well, I love it. And they did it even though they only shot 36% from 3. I mean, they missed 21 three-pointers tonight. So they could have shot better. And there were some assists left out on the floor tonight, but they had great movement. And, you saw Mikal cutting to the basket at times, especially in that second quarter and early third quarter. They know where their teammates are going to be. They're willing to make that extra pass, sometimes even to their own detriment. Sometimes they'll give up a good shot to try to get an even better shot, and they don't necessarily get that. But tonight they were spot on. It amazes me. I know that they've dropped off in advanced stats offensively since they lost Chris Paul. They're down to the middle of the pack, right? But that you lose your point guard, and they're still good enough to stay in the middle of the pack. Devin Booker steps up. Campaign steps up. Like you said, Aaron Holiday has stepped up as well. I love that this team has enough depth that they can figure out how to do it and pull all the right levers to continue to play spectacular basketball. And we have not seen any defensive drop off since Chris Paul has left. And that says something because he's one of the premier defensive point guards still at his age. He's one of the best at it. And they've still found a way, Campaign, Devin Booker, whoever's been playing point guard has found a way to still keep up that defense, keep that pressure, along with guys like Mikal Bridges and Deandre Ayton. It speaks volumes to what Monty Williams has been able to do here and the roster James Jones has been able to build. This team is ready for prime time. They're clicking on all cylinders, and that is without two of their major offensive pieces in Campaign and in Chris Paul. So hats off to these guys. They're doing fantastic things.
Yeah,
I feel like
Scott
Shane
also.
has something.
I don't know. What was that, Shane? Scott also said the ball moves well when the other team doesn't want to play defense. That is absolutely true. And the Lakers did not want to play defense tonight. Like they just basically were like, nope, I'm not doing it. I refuse. Which, okay, that's fine.
Look, but when you get 48 dropped on you in the first quarter, that's demoralizing. I mean, that's what it came down to.
That's true.
It was demoralizing. They gave up at that point. It's not as if they didn't try in that first quarter. They just suck at defense. And the Suns exploited that. They exploited it by great passes, by playing fast. The 0.5 offense was a thing of beauty in that first quarter. And that's why the Lakers didn't play defense the rest of the way. Because when you get your ass kicked that bad, you kind of throw your hands up and go, there's no point in it. And that's what happened.
Yeah, I mean, that's very true. I feel like it would be kind of hard to bounce back when you have a first half like you did tonight. Like that's tough. That's absolutely tough. Okay, so Brittany in the chat mentioned that Gerald had tweeted what Devin has said about the Anthony Davis comments. And I have a whole bunch of updates from Twitter from you on this one. So Gerald tweeted out that Devin, they had seen the comments before the game. So that was official. They did see it. And on whether or not it motivated them, Devin said, nah, that's what's going to happen anyways. I just think it's funny. Now, Dwayne Rankin added in that Devin said, if ifs was a fifth, we'd all be drunk. I thought that was pretty funny and clever.
How about Devin Booker basically saying we would have kicked their ass without that quote? That was just funny to hear.
Exactly.
That's some cockiness, and I love it. I'm here for cocky Devin Booker. Armani mode in full effect in the post-game press conference even tonight.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I love that.
Edward Todd in the chat says, it's no fun beating a dead horse, but it is when that horse is the Lakers. Ain't that the truth?
Yeah, for real. Every once in a while, it's a little bit of fun. Every once in a while.
By the way,
the biggest thing too, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was going to say the biggest thing too, which we mentioned off the top, was that this game was on national television. So many more people had access to be able to watch this game. It was a little bit of an earlier tip-off time. So typically on a weekend, especially a Sunday evening, a lot of people are tuning into that. Like, this was a game that, not that I feel like it's going to change any of the thought process around anybody, but this was a game that not only made a statement to the Lakers, but I feel like it made a statement in general, and everyone watching probably went like, okay, maybe this team is for real. I mean, you even saw it on the broadcast. Like, Richard Jefferson was giving the Suns a lot of credit and a lot of flowers tonight. You know, they started off the broadcast talking mainly only about the Lakers and LeBron James, and then that quickly shifted as this game went on. And it had to be all about the Suns, basically, because it was that drastic. Like, you could not talk about the Suns without showing some really big biases there. So
look, nobody nationally got anything out of this game because 9 minutes into it, they're like, what the hell else is on? Is there anything, is there a repeat of Euphoria on? Is there anything Sunday night that I can watch other than this crap? Thanks a lot, guys. And they all went to fill out their brackets. I mean, that's the truth. Nobody other than Suns fans were watching the Lakers get their asses handed to them nationally. ESPN probably was like, man, do we got a dog show or something that we could
like
put
the
on
halftime show? They're like, can we just air the halftime show at the arena where they had like puppy races going on instead of doing anything about this game?
They're like, does Richard Jefferson want to do stand up for 45 minutes? Anything other than this? No. Yeah, nobody nationally saw that. By the way, our man Shane Diefenbach doing the Lord's work. We've got video proof of what you said, Lindsey, to make your bet.
Oh boy. Silver said, there's your challenge, Lindsey. Wear the outfit. God, red is just not my color.
That would require her finding something red. It's never going to happen.
It's so hard.
If the Suns score 120 points, you have to wear a red dress on Friday. 140. I'll be bald. You'll wear a red dress. I'll take
140. I'll do that one.
It's vague enough. It's vague enough, I think.
Is it? Because you literally said 140, you have to wear a red dress on Friday.
It's vague enough. I say you have to do it.
It's vague enough.
At least you don't have to rock a mustache. I mean, that could have been a much worse bet.
Facts. Well, I would never make that bet, Espo.
I was dumb enough to make it. Wasn't even a bet. I was just dumb enough to say it out loud. So, but
yeah, I mean,
give the people what they want.
I wish that you had made an actual bet with somebody else. Like, so there was something going on there.
You gotta Spinelli it up. Give the people what they want.
All right, but I'll see if I can find a red dress.
Is Devin Booker is Devin Booker tapping into his true superstar in this post-game press conference where he can be a little snide, he can give you that kind of side wink about these kind of things, the kind of guy that gets the national attention? I guarantee that clip's going to be all over SportsCenter and social media. I think this could be one of those moments where Devin Booker gets a little bit more of that national shine because he's showing his personality rather than being the stoic kind of, yeah, okay, this is what it is, next question kind of thing. he comes out and he's showing, hey, I can be a little cutthroat, and people like that. People enjoy that. So
I kind of feel like he's been leaning into that a little bit over the last couple of years. I don't know. Do you not think so?
a little bit, but I feel like not as much as tonight. I mean, that's really leaning into it, you know?
Yeah, I mean, that's true. I don't know. I kind of think he has a lot more this season specifically. I mean, the whole Raptors thing, like he leaned into that. And then now, but this one is a little more, I get what you're saying with this one because it's more specific to an actual player, which I
Oh,
think is the biggest difference. I don't know that he's ever, at least off the top of my head, I can't remember a time where he specifically singled out or said something back to a comment that a specific person had made, player wise anyway.
and not an all-star. I mean, making fun of the mascot and saying, "Yeah, we're cool now," is one thing, right? Because that's a dude in a suit, right? You know,
Yeah.
this is Anthony Davis, a guy that the league has put, you know, on a pedestal, has put as a face of the league, and he's not afraid to go straight back at him. He's not afraid to take his shot at the king and not miss, you know, because
Mhm.
that's a shot at LeBron too. Like, oh, we didn't need that. We knew we were going to do this tonight. But is a shot at LeBron as well. I love it. I truly love it because fully cocky Devin Booker is what I'm here for.
Oh, totally. Absolutely agree with that. I mean, I have no problem with it at all, especially now, especially because of what Devin had to go through early on in his career with this team and the amount of crap that he had to put up with literally from every different area that you could imagine. I'm talking like the actual performance on the court, the media, the people just talking about he's a terrible player who puts up good stats on a bad team, but he's not a superstar, all this stuff, right? So now that he's actually been able to have success and perform at this level on a really good team that they built together from the ground up, I am all for Devin talking his crap.
Well, and tonight he turned LeBron into the good scorer on a bad team. He
Mhm.
flipped that script and he
That's
said, "No, no,
true.
no.
That's very true.
This is my house. This is my house. I'm the king here. You can sit there and take your 29-point loss with your 30 points. I'm the king."
Guess what, Espo?
Oh, it's time to get girthy, everybody.
Oh no.
Yeah. I
Hi
love
guys,
that
how
we
you
get all
doing?
those off the top now.
Just getting us started on the right note, clearly.
Oh my gosh. Gerald, I want to know. So I heard there were a lot of Lakers fans in attendance tonight, but what was the atmosphere like?
Yeah, I mean, there were quite a few Lakers fans early on. Visiting fans usually show up pretty early in the game to be there ahead of time. But they were pretty quiet once the game got started, as you would probably imagine. This was a really fun environment. I don't know, like they really didn't have anything to cheer about after the first 2 to 3 minutes. So after that, it felt like a normal Suns home game again. And honestly, just seeing the difference in the number of Laker fans from like a few years ago, even compared to just tonight, it feels like that number has dropped a lot. And it's pretty cool to see that, like, when big markets used to come to town, it was like 50% opposing fans, 50% Suns fans. And now it's more like 85-15 is what it felt like.
Hey, Gerald, was that AD in the background just a second ago? Crying?
I don't.
No. Okay.
No.
It wasn't AD. That must have been the babies getting carried out. I thought maybe the Lakers were.
You had Gerald for a minute too.
Sorry about that. We read your tweets on air, but I need to hear it from the mouth of the girth. What was Devin Booker's reaction to the AD comments, and what did he have to say tonight? Because it sounded like it was spectacular.
Yeah, we asked him if I think it was Scott Bordeaux who was visiting tonight, asked him, "Did you hear what Anthony Davis said before the game?" And he said, "Yeah," and he started laughing immediately. And he said, did that affect you at all or motivate you guys at all? And he said, "Nah, like that's," and he said something about like, that's what's going to happen anyway. And then he said, what was the last thing that he said? That was the best part. I
If
forgot it
ifs
now.
were a fifth, we'd all be drunk.
Yes, that's what he said. God, that was hilarious. But yeah, like he was just kind of just blew it off, which was pretty cool that the Suns are in a position to completely blow off a team like the Lakers. Like, look how far we've come.
It is certainly different than it has been.
Absolutely.
What was the talk about DA tonight? I mean, what did Monty and any of his teammates have to say about DA's performance?
Yeah, so the cool thing to emerge from tonight, number one, was that after the Raptors loss on Friday, DA texted Monty, and it wasn't in a selfish way, but he was telling him, look, like, I can do more. I can dominate down low. I just need, like, more touches. And it wasn't, give me the ball more or something like that. It was like, I want to help the team. We can be better if I get more touches. And we saw that tonight, 23 points on 11 of 14 shooting, didn't even play in the fourth quarter. This could have been like a 30-20 game for him if it had been even remotely competitive. But that was pretty cool that, he felt comfortable enough to text him. And DA said, when we asked him about it, like, yeah, coach trusts us. He trusts me. And that means a lot. That's really empowering. And DA has been incredibly efficient since the All-Star break. Like, there were a couple of games where it looked a little dicey as far as settling for the mid-range, but he's been just stellar lately. And he's been doing it without the guy who has accounted for nearly 40% of his assists this season. So to do that without Chris Paul is amazing. And they talked a lot about something that Monty learned with Tim Duncan in San Antonio, catch high, shoot high, catch high, keep high is what they call it. So just keeping the ball above smaller defenders, and that's really been helping him be efficient down low.
I really enjoy that because I know a lot of people on this show specifically, and we've talked about it multiple times, Deandre Ayton demanding the ball more, Deandre Ayton calling out at his teammates, asking for that ball more. And I feel like this is a good approach, talking with his coach first and having that conversation with Monty to see if this is something that they can implement more through the system and not just kind of in a selfish type of way. How do you think this kind of, like, from your perspective, how would you say this makes you feel about DeAndre, his growth, his relationship with Monty, or maturity or something in that sort?
Yeah, I mean, it's encouraging all around, especially because it's not, the typical number one pick saying, I need the ball more, I need more shots, that type of thing. It's coming within the confines of the offense. It's being, playing some of the most efficient basketball of his career and saying, like, look, I can do even more. And especially he knows that he needs to do a little bit more. Everybody needs to do more during this stretch with Chris Paul out. They need to try different things and put guys in different spots than what they're normally in with the way the offense runs when you've got Book and Chris Paul out there. So it's really encouraging. And, he said tonight when they came out with the small ball lineup with LeBron at the 5, he took offense to that. He took that personally. And that's the type of thing you love to see, especially after sending that kind of text on Friday, for him to just come out and punish the Lakers the way that he did.
What's the feeling around Aaron Holiday? And I want some of your opinion here. I mean, he has come out and done everything it seems that this team could expect, particularly tonight, played fantastic. When Chris Paul comes back, is he going to be able to still get minutes, you think? And has Monty, from what you've heard, been as impressed as the rest of us have with Aaron?
That's a good question. We haven't talked about Aaron Holiday with Monty or anyone else in a little while, just because he's been quietly good. Like, he hasn't blown anybody away. He hasn't been campaign off the bench, but he has been just doing the job well. And tonight was another example of that. He quietly reached double figures. I think he had 5 assists and 4 rebounds, something in that vicinity. So he's just, producing for this team and being steady. And that's really all they need from him. They need a guy that can hound opposing backcourts up and down the court. He does that. They need him to knock down open shots when he gets them. He does that. He penetrates a little bit. He finds guys with smart passing, which is pretty impressive for a guy who's only been here for a couple weeks. So I'm not sure what the rotation will look like once Chris Paul is back. I think obviously campaign slides back into that, backup point guard role. But I do wonder, if Landry Shamet is unable to find, equilibrium with his shot a little bit, if we might see him playing off ball, because he is a combo guard and he is capable of playing off the ball with that shot that he has. So that is something to keep an eye on. Obviously, that's a couple weeks down the road, but Holiday has been really great since he's came here.
One final one for me. Is it true that there was a dog show race at halftime and that they made less of a mess of the court than the Lakers did?
It was the most competitive part of the game, I gotta say, and that included a dog pissing on the court in the middle of it. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. It was adorable, and it was, like I said, the most competitive part of the game, unfortunately, for the Lakers.
Gerald loves dogs in the halftime performances, halftime shows.
I do,
Gerald-
and I felt it was very symbolic that a dog just decided to literally relieve himself in the middle of it.
Yeah, well, anything else that stood out to you from tonight, talking with coach or the players that you'd like to share with us?
I don't think so. I think the one thing that Monty said that not really stood out, but we've heard it so many times that this team hates losing. Devin Booker said, that's what I love about this team is when we lose a game, it feels like the end of the world. The food doesn't taste the same. And their focus from a good film session yesterday apparently is what carried over into this one. Monty said he was proud of the way that his team bounced back and the way that they respond to losses. We could talk about the Lakers being without Anthony Davis, but the Suns being without Chris Paul and Cam Johnson, putting a hurt on this team the way that they did. This is supposed to be a rivalry game. It doesn't feel like it feels pretty one-sided these days. And that's what you love to see coming off a loss to a Raptors team where they just got beat.
Hey, Gerald, can you see the comments from where you are when you tune in from the Footprint Center?
I'm seeing a lot of offshoot movies.
So there are so many movies with the girth intertwined into the titles. I feel like if there was ever a night for you to go home and put this on, replay the YouTube video with the comments up, this is the night to do it because the co-crazies are going insane for you right now.
I can't even look at the comments because I'll totally lose focus of what I'm saying right now, but I'll have to go back and rewatch. These sound like horrible porn offshoots.
Oh my God.
These are the films we're doing on the next G-rated, Gerald. It's just all of these that they've thrown into the
Oh my God, it's so funny. All right, Gerald. Well, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you.
Thanks, guys. Have a good night.
All right,
And
Lindsey,
don't forget. Go ahead.
No,
I was just going to say, don't forget, Gerald is going to have an article up on gophnx.com probably tonight, if not tonight, tomorrow morning. So if you have not yet become a member, now is a great time to do so you can read all of Gerald's sweet content.
I got to say this. We need to do this twice tonight. The Phoenix Suns are the best team in the NBA. Suck it, Lakers. Suck it, LeBron. Suck it, AD. Suck it, Shaq. There you go.
I was going to make you do it one more time anyway, so I'm glad that you volunteered. So, I mean, not that it would be like, oh, twist my arm by any means, but I'm glad that you volunteered to do it because we had a couple people in the chat that were like, I tuned in late. I missed the Espo yell. I need it one more time. So
there you go.
You're giving the people what they want, Espo.
Lindsey, are you ready for a third Emmy? Because I think tonight's going to earn it. That's how good this program's been. 3-time Emmy winner, Lindsey Smith, and the guy that yells a lot.
Let's go. I'm here for it. All right, Espo, is there anything else from tonight's game that you would like to touch on?
Look, enjoy the ride. This is fun. This is spectacular in the way that they put all of this together, and the best is yet to come. We still have another month before we're looking at the playoffs. Let's enjoy the regular season and buckle up because we may get to see a 7-game series between these two teams. I'm going to tell you, it ain't going to go 7. They'll be lucky if it goes 5.
Absolutely. Well, thank you guys once again, as always, for tuning in, joining us on YouTube and in the chat. If you're listening to this on whatever platform you listen to on your podcast, thank you for joining us. Be sure to subscribe, rate, and review. We appreciate you guys. We will be back tomorrow at 2 p.m. on our YouTube channel with a live show. So be sure to put that in your calendar and come hang out with us then. Until then, you can follow me at Lindsey Smith AZ on Twitter. You can follow Gerald at Gerald Bourguet, and you can follow Espo at Espo. Espo, take us home.
Remember, if ifs and buts were candy and nuts, Anthony Davis would still be injured. Ahoy, hoy.